Thank you for accepting the interview. Can you state your name and title, please?
My name is Dr. Cleary. I'm an assistant professor here in the Department of Civil, Coastal, and Environmental Engineering.
The class that you are teach in University of South Alabama.
So I teach a lot of different courses here at South. I teach generally engineering mechanics, structural engineering, and materials courses. So I teach statics, mechanics and materials, structural analysis, CE materials, timber design, steel design, senior design. I also teach for the first time this semester, teaching the engineering, economics, and econ course. It's actually called Introduction to Engineering, Ethics, and Economics, something like that. I also have taught some kind of, I would call them one-off courses where I taught them one time, like finite element analysis and directed independent studies and masonry design, failure case studies. I've taught a course in failure case studies, and what we call special structures, kind of a unique course designed for seniors who are doing the concrete canoe and steel bridge projects.
Good. Why did you choose civil engineering?
So it was kind of a long journey for me to get to civil engineering. When I first graduated high school, I graduated one day, started working construction the next day. Went to a community college, worked construction full-time, went to school full-time for a year, and then took a year off and worked construction full-time. And then realized manual labor was not my thing, so I went back to school. My grandfather was an engineer, mechanical engineer, but he really practiced as a civil engineer. He ran a construction company, general contracting firm, and so I always had kind of a desire to be in the construction area, which is why I work construction. That's why I went to civil engineering. And when I started back, I just really liked structures. So when I went back to school, structural engineering is what I kind of knew I wanted to do. And that worked out for me because I'm one of the few that when I started, that's what I knew I wanted to do. And here I am still wanting to do that.
Yeah. What discipline are you and why?
So as I said, I'm structural engineering, and that kind of I think led to where I wanted to be structural engineering. I really like working with structures and materials. I work a lot with concrete materials as well. My master's research was in concrete materials. My doctoral research went in large-scale structures, instrumentation testing of bridge structures, and I've kind of stuck with that throughout my research here at South, working with both concrete materials and structural engineering research projects.
Good. What is your favorite class you teach?
My favorite class to teach, I'd probably have to say, for the undergraduate course, either mechanics and materials or structural analysis. I enjoy teaching those courses. Probably structural analysis. It's a little more interactive with the students. As they become juniors, they start to get to know you a little bit better and interact a lot more. At the graduate level, I probably like teaching advanced steel the most. It's a little bit more of a challenging topic, but it's kind of enjoyable to teach that.
Good. How long have you taught at South?
This is my 6th year at South, so 5.5 years about.
Good. What makes the program here at South special?
So what I think the big advantage South has over some other schools is we're a relatively small program with 10 faculty. We graduate roughly 30 to 40 students a year, and it gives students an opportunity to really get to know the faculty, come into the faculty's offices and talk to us. Sometimes you don't always get that at school, so I think that's what really sets us apart from some schools, is the ability to be able to come and talk to the faculty, and we interact very well with the students, I believe.
Good. What advice do you have for a student while they are here at South?
I think the biggest advice I could give to a student is to get involved with student organizations, things like ASCE or SAME or SWE or NSBE or I'm forgetting some of them and they'll get mad at me for that, but any of the student organizations, it's a good opportunity to network, to meet other students, to kind of learn from the students that are further ahead in the program, and to really become active in the program, and to learn a lot more than what you just hear from us.
Advice for after graduation?
I would say, from one, similar advice, becoming involved with the local professional societies. Most of these organizations, like ASCE or SAME or Society of American Military Engineers or AGC, all have professional chapters as well. And that's a great way to network with local engineers and to learn a lot about the local area and the local practice, and even if you're employed, maybe other opportunities that come up, or just to learn about different projects in the area, and different companies and different firms and what they're doing. A lot of firms work together on projects. It's a good way to collaborate, and a good way to learn different people in your firm to be able to advance throughout the firm. That's probably one of the most important things as you graduate. And a lot of students, when they first graduate, don't think about that. They just want to go and just work and do really good, which is great. You gotta be a hard worker, and you gotta earn that salary, but it's also good to network as well.
Is there any research or study abroad that you are a part of?
Yeah, I do a lot of different types of research here. I've worked on construction vibrations, particularly looking at as you drive a pile foundation into the ground. One way they put those into the ground is basically they take a giant hammer and they hammer it into the ground, and that creates vibrations. Those vibrations can affect other structures, so we've looked at how those vibrations are going to affect other structures, and how much vibrations there's going to be created while that's occurring. I've done research looking at wave loads on bridge decks, particularly during storm events, things like hurricanes. I've worked with Dr. Webb on that, looking at the coastal and the structural aspects of that. I've done some research very recently, going down to South Texas after Hurricane Harvey to look at the effects of structural wind damage after the storm, to see how we can use that to improve building codes. I've also done some research in the concrete area, looking at things like pervious concrete. That's a type of concrete that allows water to drain through it, so you can reduce stormwater runoff. We've looked at using different additives in concrete to increase the strength, and so different aspects of the strength characteristics of concrete as well, and a few other things as well. But
okay, anything else you would like to add?
I think civil engineering is the best kind of engineering. We have a very good career path and a good career field with a very diverse job market, I guess you could say. Structural engineering is obviously the best one, but there's a very good path within engineering, so I think we should start on that one.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Cleary.